Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more shocking revelations about Menglong's mysterious death. What you're about to hear may change everything we thought we knew. When Menglong was rushed into the emergency ward of Beijing's Chaoyang District Hospital that September morning, the world believed it was just another tragic accident. The official statement claimed he was intoxicated, had fallen from a building, and was pronounced dead on arrival. Simple, clean, and final, or so they wanted it to sound. But months later, a confession from one of the attending doctors has turned that narrative upside down. The doctor, who requested anonymity, allegedly worked the night shift when Yu's body was brought in. In a trembling voice during an off-record conversation, he revealed, it wasn't as straightforward as they said. There were signs that didn't match the fall. Those words set the internet ablaze. What signs? What was he trying to say? According to the account, Yu was still breathing, barely, when paramedics arrived. The emergency report allegedly indicated faint responsiveness, but that part was never included in the final documentation. He still had a pulse, the doctor whispered. We tried, but then something changed. We were told to stop. That stop became the most chilling word in the revelation. Inside the hospital, whispers began circulating that night. A group of unidentified men, not hospital staff, entered the ER around 4:32 a.m., roughly 10 minutes before Yu was officially pronounced dead. The CCTV cameras covering that section were mysteriously turned off for maintenance. None of the nurses on duty were allowed to leave the room. One nurse reportedly told a friend later, it felt like someone else was in charge that night. Not us. Not the doctors. The next morning, Yu's body was quickly transferred to a private morgue under strict instruction. His autopsy results were released only to his family and the studio's representatives, both of whom, strangely, issued conflicting statements. The studio cited accidental fall from intoxication. The mother later hinted at deliberate harm. But no one mentioned the hospital silence. For weeks, everything was buried under censorship and official denials. Until, last month, a new post appeared on a dark corner of the web, a voice note claiming to be the same doctor. In it, a trembling male voice confessed, I can't keep this anymore. He wasn't dead yet. We were told to mark the time early. The order came from higher up. The post was deleted within hours, but not before screenshots spread across fan forums and investigative threads. The voice note was analyzed and found to match the accent and tone of medical staff from the same district. Whether authentic or staged, it reignited every conspiracy about Yu's death. Fans pieced together the timeline. Yu's reported fall was at 3:47 a.m., the ambulance arrived at 4:03, and death was declared at 4:42. 40 minutes. 40 minutes that could change everything. A witness outside the hospital later claimed to have seen a black sedan parked near the emergency entrance, engine still running, windows tinted. Security guards said it was standard protocol. But others weren't so sure. Who were the men in that car? Meanwhile, internal chat leaks from hospital staff, circulated by anonymous sources, showed one cryptic message sent minutes after Yu's death was announced. The file's sealed. No more talk about it. He's gone, let it go. That single line sent chills down the spine of fans worldwide. Who sent it? Who was it meant for? The doctor's alleged confession didn't end there. In the full account, he claimed that Yu's right wrist had bruises not consistent with the fall. They looked like restraint marks, he said, as if someone held him back or tried to stop him. When pressed about why he didn't report it, he reportedly answered, You don't understand how powerful some people are. We were all scared. Soon after this confession surfaced, multiple Weibo accounts posting about the case were suspended. The supposed voice file vanished, and hospital records related to that night were updated to remove staff signatures. The doctor himself has since gone missing from public view, his name no longer listed on the hospital roster. As these pieces started coming together, a new theory took root. Menglong didn't simply fall. He might have been silenced, his survival covered up before the truth could come out. Why? What did he know? And who ordered the cover-up? A former crew member from his unfinished drama, Fading Lights, gave a cryptic interview. He had been restless that week. Said he found something dangerous. He wasn't drinking that night to celebrate, he was scared. That statement alone reframed everything. What if the fall wasn't an accident, but the consequence of a secret you stumbled upon, something he was never meant to see? The doctor's confession, the silenced nurses, the missing CCTV, it all paints a picture too dark to ignore. And yet, despite all this, the official report remains unchanged. No criminal involvement. No deeper investigation. No answers. Fans, however, refuse to let it go. Online communities are demanding access to the hospital's internal logs and use original medical report. They've launched hashtags like #JusticeForYumenglong and #TheHospitalKnows that continue to trend every few months. Every time a new detail surfaces, it gets swiftly scrubbed from the web. But the truth, like a heartbeat, keeps returning. As one commenter put it, they may have silenced him, but they can't bury the echoes of that night. The story didn't end at the hospital. If anything, that's where it truly began. The walls of Chaoyang District Hospital, once silent, sterile, and obedient, now whisper with secrets that refuse to stay buried. Those who were there that night say the air itself felt heavy, like the building knew it was housing a secret too big to contain. By 3:45 a.m., the emergency room lights flickered. It was routine power calibration, according to the logs. But one nurse swore that the flicker wasn't random. It happened right after Menglong was brought in. His body, she said, was cold but not lifeless. There was movement in his fingers, shallow breathing that trembled against the oxygen mask. He was still fighting, she told a colleague weeks later. But someone didn't want him to. At 4:10 a.m., a black sedan arrived, again, not on any official record. From it stepped two men in long coats, wearing masks despite being indoors. They didn't speak much, just flashed an ID no one dared question. Security guards who saw them later described the moment like a scene from a movie. They moved fast, with purpose. One went straight into the ER. The other waited outside the door. Inside, chaos met control. Nurses were instructed to clear the room. The lead doctor, already sweating, looked torn, caught between medical duty and a command he didn't understand. Yu's heart monitor still showed a weak rhythm. Then came the words that silenced everything. Mark the time. That was the moment Menglong was declared dead. Though, according to the whistleblower, he wasn't. Minutes later, the men exited quietly, leaving behind a silence so deep it swallowed every heartbeat in the ward. The doctor, the one who later came forward, claimed the machines were still running. It was like watching the light fade from someone's eyes, but not because it had to. It was taken. Around 5 a.m., the nurses were told to prepare the transfer papers. One of them noticed something strange. The section that required the doctor's signature had already been filled in, typed, not handwritten. It was as if the document had been prepared in advance. The name of the supervising physician that night? Missing from all later public records. By 7 a.m., the news had begun to leak. The hospital's PR team received calls before any official press could even react. How did they know so quickly? Who tipped them off? It's almost as if someone wanted the story to go public fast, but only their version of it. The confession, months later, brought back every detail the hospital had erased. The doctor's voice, shaky, afraid, spoke of orders that came from above. Not from the hospital administration, but higher, an outside contact. They said it was for national stability, he said. That we couldn't afford rumors or panic. But it was too late for silence. When that audio leaked online, thousands of fans recognized his tone, the hesitation, the grief. It wasn't the voice of someone seeking fame or chaos. It was the voice of a man haunted by guilt. In one part of the leaked transcript, he said, "I can still see his eyes. He tried to open them when they turned off the monitor. I knew then it wasn't an accident." The internet exploded. Forums flooded with theories. Was Menglong about to expose something before his fall? Did the so-called accident connect to his unfinished project, The Hidden Symphony, a drama rumored to touch on corruption in the industry? Days before his death, Yu had texted his manager. "We need to talk before I release anything." It's not just about the show anymore. That message was deleted from the manager's phone within hours of his death. Yet, screenshots taken by a friend remain. Fans connected the dots. Yu was scared. He wasn't partying that night, he was meeting someone. Witnesses saw him at a high-end lounge near Sanlitun, speaking to a man in a gray coat. 30 minutes later, his phone went dark. The doctor's confession ties into this timeline almost perfectly. If he was still alive when he reached the hospital, someone must have followed to ensure he didn't leave it alive. The two masked men fit that pattern too neatly to ignore. Later, when Yu's mother requested to view her son's final medical report, she was told the original file had been lost in transfer. A duplicate version was issued instead, missing several pages. Among them, the resuscitation summary. Rumors say she broke down after reading what remained, whispering, "This isn't how my son left." And what of the doctor now? Some claim he fled Beijing. Others say he was detained under false pretenses. A few think he's hiding, still sending clues anonymously online. One of his latest alleged messages read, "The truth is written in red ink on page 7. Fans began searching for Yu's hospital file number, cross-referencing leaked data, even calling local archives. Page 7 remains missing from every version released. Coincidence? Maybe. But nothing in Yu's case ever seems like one. Meanwhile, the hospital's management has doubled its security protocols. Staff are forbidden from discussing the Chaoyang case. Cameras were installed in every corridor, ironically, to prevent another information breach. But the more they hide, the louder the echoes grow. A janitor who worked there at the time of Yu's death came forward anonymously. Every night after that, alarms went off for no reason near the ER. Some say it's faulty wiring. Others say he's still there, waiting for the truth. Whether ghost story or guilt story, the effect is the same. The hospital is haunted not by spirits, but by secrets. As dawn broke that morning in September, the world thought it had lost a beloved actor. But maybe, just maybe, it lost something bigger: the truth. For those who still believe Yu Menglong's death was an accident, the doctor's confession paints a picture too detailed, too raw, to ignore. And for those who suspect foul play, this is confirmation of what they feared all along, that the final moments of Yu's life weren't an accident, but a decision. A decision made in a hospital room, signed off in silence, and buried in bureaucracy. YouTube outro script. If this revelation left you speechless, imagine what's still hidden. The hospital, the files, the witnesses, they're all part of a puzzle that's not done unfolding. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because next, we uncover what Yu Menglong tried to warn the world about before he fell.